Hello, and you're back with us again on The Movement, the politics show at The Citizen. And now today we're joined by ATM President Vuyolwethu Zungula, who's going to be telling us why South Africans should vote for the ATM. Of course, we know that Vuyolwethu Zungula is one of the most vocal parliamentarians that we have, and he represents a lot of young people in terms of how he speaks and how he sees things in the future and the future of this country. Sir, how are you today?
I'm all right, man, and how are you?
Great, thank you. Now, let's get straight into it. President Zungula, the ATM's not that old in terms of its years. What's the membership looking like?
We've not done a membership audit because the focus was preparing for these elections. So all of the resources that we have and preparations were focused on the 2024 elections.
Right. Now, to get straight into it, the ATM has great policies, some which speaks about putting South Africa first. But now there's been this criticism about how the ATM seemed to be, especially you, appearing at an EFF, rally where, the EFF has perhaps different policies to you. How would you explain your presence there?
We as a party were not hostile to any party because we believe that all parties they state that they are there to service the people and they are there to make sure that, they improve the quality of lives of the people. So that is why we're not hostile. Secondly, we've always invited people or parties in our rallies. You remember in our 5th year anniversary in Gqeberha, we invited almost all of the parties. ACDP was there, even though we don't agree with ACDP on the Israel issue. UDM was there, even though we don't agree with UDM on certain issues. Similarly, we've been invited to many other parties, such as the EFF. We may not agree on everything, as parties, but what is important for us is that we must not be hostile to each other because we want to change the constitution as the ATM, and to do that requires a two-thirds majority. And you can't have a two-thirds majority to change the constitution if you're hostile to different parties. So that is why for us it's all about understanding that, people must read the context. The context should be, if we as the ATM, we are having a certain position on an issue, if people agree with us on that issue, it is well and good. But that does not make us enemies with a party that that has got a different view on the same on a similar issue or on the same issue. So that is why, in that context, we as a party, we even attended the Manifesto launch of the PAC over the weekend, precisely because we want to, create a friendly environment between parties so that parties can get to work together. So, but again, if you're to read some of the manifestos of these parties, well, I'm not here to speak about their manifestos, but for example, on the question of borders, they did, both parties that have attended the manifestos, they are also in agreement on the question of having stringent border controls, which is something that we as a party, we've always been calling for, that the borders must be secured. People that are in the country illegally must face the full might of the law and be deported. The companies that are creating illegal immigration by employing illegal immigrants, those managers and those companies employing the illegal immigrants must be charged and prosecuted and receive jail time. Even the companies themselves must receive hefty fines, and if need be, their licenses must be revoked. So we've not changed. Our manifesto is very clear, but however, what we cannot do as a party is to be hostile to different parties because we do not share the same views on some issues.